Here she comes, Sarah to save the day, with her flannel line and her slippers. Do. And she's gonna plop on the couch. Oh, she's kicking off her slippers. And she's...
Keep on singing your song. She's gonna have to listen to it when you...
Yeah, I want to do the end stinger.
You do the end stinger there.
And she's grabbing her blanket, and then she's looking at me. Doop.
Thank you for downloading our recent episode. For more episodes like this, go to movieguyspodcast.podbean.com for more episodes. Enjoy the show.
You know, Eric, the hype train pulled into the station. I was excited. I bought my ticket to ride the hype train, and I'm enjoying this ride. We're talking about Nosferatu, the 2024, 25 kind of, right? Remake here. I'm excited. How the hell are you doing?
Was there hype with this movie?
Yeah, well, for me there was.
Well, I think that we're at a part right now where Robert Eggers definitely has a following.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely the new Tarantino.
You think so?
Dude, this movie... Well, yeah, this movie had a budget of $50 million and it made $167. For a movie like this, being released on Christmas? Yeah.
I think that, it's already a $50 million budget. Is that what you said?
$50 million budget and it grossed 167.
Yeah, so it's doing pretty well. I think we're in a new age of some directors where, and I like it, where a lot of people, including myself, including yourself, will watch a movie simply by the director.
Yes.
That's all you need. Everyone else in it is just an added bonus. I do appreciate that certain directors, like Robert Eggers, picks the same actors for the most part for a lot of his projects.
That's okay.
No, I think that's great. He'll mix and match a few. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they'll be in one, sometimes they won't be in one, right? It's always great to see that, but to have a director who knows what actors he works well with, knows what to get out of them, know what to expect from them, I think that bodes well for a lot of the movies, right?
Well, I think what's eventually going to happen, I mean, Werewolf is his next one, and now he's also doing a Labyrinth movie as well. I think what's going to end up happening is, as his career continues, you're going to have actors like a Brad Pitt, where 20 years prior, I would never star in a Quentin Tarantino movie. Who the heck is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Reservoir, what? No, right? And now, he's starring in it. That's what I feel is going to happen for Robert Eggers there. I feel like these big actors are going to come knocking on his door, because if the movie's not great or critically well received, damn, you're going to look pretty in the movie. This movie's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, and it is nominated as such for those parts: costume, cinematography, production. Not movie, though, not actors. None of them are nominated.
Which is interesting, because I feel some of them kind of get the shaft on this one. I actually kind of like Aaron Taylor Johnson in this a lot. I thought he was very interesting. Willem Dafoe was Willem Dafoe. He overacts, he goes crazy. That smile always gets me. It's like, geez, it's like Nicolas Cage overacting. But Nosferatu, now the first time I ever saw the original, which is like 104 years old now, of course, was in film school. Did you see the original at all?
No, not in its entirety. I believe I fell asleep, and I was introduced to it originally because of Ernest Scared Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the intro of that movie, there was a lot of different... there was a montage of a lot of older scary movies, and the one that stuck with me, that was burned into my head, was the clip of him going up the stairs, of Nosferatu, the shadow, kind of just sliding up the stairs a bit. And as a kid, I was like, oh, well, that's creepy. I think I want to watch some of that. And my parents were always ones to show different movies. They were just like, oh, you want to watch a classic movie? Yeah, we can do that. And I remember giving it a try, and I never made it through. I fell asleep.
No, it's hard to, right? Because, when you're young and in film school, they show you the classics. They show you Nosferatu. They show you Birth of a Nation, and you're just like, oh, God, this is boring. Not me. Like, I'm not trying to be different. right? Because Nosferatu, I showed Gina the OG 1922 movie, and she got not even 5 minutes into it. It's not modern, right? It's silent movie. It's gray, it's brown colors, it's weird. It's a weird looking movie, but
Yeah.
I don't know, because what I like about Nosferatu, not only this movie, but the other Nosferatu movies that come before it, Eric, is this is Dracula theft. We know that. We can talk about that if we want. But what I dig about this is Dracula's sexy. Literally. He's suave. He's a different kind of dangerous, right? And if he bites you, you turn into a vampire, right? There's like romanticism about it. Nosferatu, even from the OG movie, it's plague. It's death. You get bit, you're not going to turn into a vampire.
Yeah.
Like it's death. And that, I feel, is what makes Nosferatu a better idea of a story than a Dracula, kinda.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's the difference, right? Is that I feel that a Dracula, vampire, and Nosferatu are lumped into kind of the same thing. But if
Sure.
you were to really take a class on it, they are separate. I feel
They are.
like a vampire is like a class of creature, right? I feel like Dracula himself is a solo person who is a vampire, right? And I feel like Nosferatu is almost like the name given to the unknown, the creature.
Yes, the creature who has rats and dogs, and it can, he's the shadow. There are so many metaphors with a Nosferatu compared to a Dracula, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's what makes it scarier. It's like Dracula will charm you. He'd be like, hey, if I just bite your neck here a little bit there, but you could turn into a vampire, and you, me, Brad Pitt, and Tom Cruise can you hang out in New Orleans and just hang out, bud.
Well,
Nosferatu.
There's the other part too. Is I feel that depending on which actor plays the role, it gives new life, right?
Yeah.
So whether you have Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt playing it, or you have Leslie Nielsen playing it, or Bela Lugosi, right?
Ooh, garlic. I love that line
Blah.
from Dracula.
Yeah,
Daddy loving it.
it's. I feel like those are, again, different interpretations, and then you have a whole new world of it being an animated too. You have like in Castlevania, or you have in Vampire Hunter D, where you have like these vampires with supernatural powers. They're not just
Blade Trinity.
yeah, or Blade Trinity, right? Comic books.
Dracula's in that.
I feel like, yeah, in the world of like comic books or story like that,
Right.
you have, it's not just a person who is a lurker in the night. You have somebody who's again a demon supernatural who's made a pact with the devil,
Right.
and can fly, turn into a bat.
This is something that's not born of this world. Eric, I know you and I talked about it off air, but for people who are listening that may not know, the short version is that the original Nosferatu is an unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's what it is, right? It's the creators of the first Nosferatu in 1922, straight up theft. They stole that movie, and, copyright laws weren't as they were back then, especially in Germany. And I mean, it's hard sometimes, because you yourself has said it. You're like, Jordan, have you seen Nosferatu yet? I was like, I haven't yet, bud. And you're like, dude, he's on the Demeter, but he's not in the Demeter in this movie. You know what I mean?
Oh,
They don't call it the Demeter. It's not the Demeter. It's little things like that.
sure.
But that's why. Also, I want to throw it out there too. There is a lot of theories. I kind of want to know what your opinion is, and I know you know where I'm going with this. Do you see, know, or agree that the original Nosferatu is anti-Jewish Nazi propaganda?
Oh, geez, absolutely. I feel like that is, even if it entirely isn't if the creators can say no. There is a lot of coincidences in parallel that you could put to that. Sure.
Hmm. Okay. Because what I'm asking that question because I want to talk about this movie now. Because the one thing that Robert Eggers does that's different, because you're gonna this is like the third or fourth time they remade this movie, right? So how is Robert Eggers gonna do it different, right? And he doesn't make it about Nosferatu. He makes it about her, Ellen.
Yeah, I
This is
like
Ellen's
this.
movie.
Yeah, this is absolutely. And I will say, admittedly, going into this, that much like Wicked, the promo leading up to it, although I had little exposure, was bothersome to me. I feel like ultimately I was not a fan of Lily Rose Depp. I feels that she has a very unique look. Is that a gracious way of putting that?
Yes, but I think she fits in this movie and this world perfectly.
Oh yeah, listen. Again, I went in with low expectations and thinking, I don't want to see this, but Robert Eggers knows what he's doing, and I will eat my words in a hat. She did phenomenal in this movie. She really did.
She needs to be nominated, but she's not.
Yeah, I would go as far as to agree with you on there too. Nicholas Holt, it does Nicholas Holt things. I feel like he's always a pretty constant.
Yeah.
Enough.
I'm laughing
He's not
because
blowing away. He's not blowing me away with his acting. It's just kind of like, all right, yeah, there he is. He did his job.
well, he plays his part well. Also, this is the second time we see him in a Dracula movie. The last time we saw him was playing Renfield in Renfield.
Yeah, and I believe
Yeah.
this is Willem Dafoe's third vampire movie.
Well, Willem Dafoe played Nosferatu in Shadow of a Vampire,
Yeah, well, yeah.
which is kind of hilarious.
Was
No,
it Max Schreck, the guy who
he played Max Schreck.
the
Well,
actor?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about Nicholas Holt real quick. Robert Eggers did a great job with him. The reason why I say this is because Nicholas Holt plays exactly what I want him to play. He plays a doofus, dim-witted, spineless man. That, I mean, like, this movie, it's not. Okay, so, okay, what I'm going to say is this. So here's a crazy statement. This movie's anti-woman, but what I mean by that is that nobody's listening to her, right? Nobody's hearing her. The doctors are like, just keep her corset on her so she can help her blood flow, and let's just put her with let's put ether on her, right? I'm not saying that the director is saying it's anti-woman. I'm saying that the characters, right? They're just, we don't have time for these women, right? Just push them aside. We don't care. The two little girls even were like, "Ooh, there's a monster." No, there's not. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Of the times, right, where
right,
any concern or any episode that maybe would be again very serious for a woman would be often dismissed. What would they call it? Oh, melancholy. Like, oh,
right.
her and her melancholy. Just chill out. I know what her problem is. I'm a medical professional. She has too much blood. Of course.
Yes, don't go camping with her in the woods with bears. So that's what I kind of get from this movie, right?
Yeah, never taken seriously. Always
Right.
the man knows better. And oh, calm down.
Calm down.
That's
Yeah,
always a popular thing that they say, right?
right. So I find this very interesting too. So the movie starts out with okay. So before we get into her, the very opening, I want to talk about a title card because I don't know what stuck with me. I am a history guy, right? When I was a teenager, what I wanted to do with my life was I wanted to be a history teacher and coach basketball. So the title card after the opening, which we'll talk about, says Germany, like it's like 1863 or something like that,
That's
right?
right. Yes.
There was no such
1838.
1830. There was no Germany at that time. Germany did not exist at that time.
No.
Germany did not exist until 40 years later. Check it out.
Okay.
Because it was Germany as a country wasn't around, but there was like territories, if you will, like different groups. But the actual country of Germany was not founded until 40 years after this timeline. So I found it very interesting that Robert Eggers decided to say Germany.
Interesting. In
You know what I mean?
the book, which I have not read, is the destination London?
Mm-hmm.
Is that where
In Dracula,
Orlok in Dracula is originally going to? That's where the Demeter in the final voyage of the Demeter was going to, right?
That's London, yeah, not Germany. So that's the one thing too, is that the original Nosferatu in 1922 was a German film. German expressionism, anybody? Tim Burton knows all about that.
Is that the tip of the hat there?
There it is.
Interesting.
Fascinating, huh?
Wonderful.
Now, are you seriously? Are you looking up Germany became a country when?
I'm not typing because I noticed that if I type too loudly, it comes in. My mouse clicks already bother me when I listen to the episode.
Oh, well, fine, fair enough. I'll look it up. So let's see here. Well, I'm not going to do this on the show. Look it up, everybody. It's very interesting. So, okay. Let's get into it.
But I believe you. I'm not.
Well, and I don't want to make it clear before I put my foot in my mouth. Germany was around, just how like America was around in the 1700s, right?
Sure.
But it wasn't like America. It wasn't like the United States. You know what I mean?
You're saying like country proper, government.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Sure.
That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, thank you. So, Nosferatu. Here we go. Here's my thinking cap. This movie's all about the dangers of a woman orgasm and the sex that comes with it. Right off the bat. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, I know that sounds so ridiculous, but it is. We get introduced to Ellen, who literally is calling out to anybody that would have her, either demon or good spirit, whatever you will. And the one that comes calling is Nosferatu.
The creeper.
Why? Now, the movie doesn't explain it, but why do you feel she's calling out?
I don't know. She's bored. She's young enough, and she's had this awakening where she just wants a new life. And obviously, the mansion that she's living in is boring. And maybe is that? Do you know why?
I want to have more time. I know the movie's long enough, but I guess I wanted to get probably about 5 or 10 more minutes here, right? Because she's in a giant castle. Well, not a castle, but a mansion. After this opening,
lonely.
Well, that's the thing is that, I mean, after this opening, we go to, modern time, right? Or not, you know what I mean? She establishes in the middle of the film that Nosferatu came calling when she was just a kid, but she wasn't a kid in that opening, right? She was a teenager.
Seemed like a teenager, yeah.
Right. So how old do you think she is when the movie continues on? Do you think she's mid-20s?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
So probably like 10 years later then, probably. Because it doesn't say.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So she calls out to anything, and then all of a sudden, she walks outside. The moonlighting is great. I Wikipedia this one. They filmed these scenes during the day. And then they just, and
put
editing.
A filter on it? Nice.
Yeah. To have like that moon glow. Anyway, she's walking out. She lays on her back, and she's having invisible sex with Nosferatu.
Yes.
And we get a quick glimpse at him, and then it jumps, right? So now she is newly married to Nicholas Hoult, and Nicholas Hoult is a real estate agent, or trying to be a real estate agent, and he has a big job. Oh, Gil needs one more sale, right? And his big job from his boss, Knox, right, the owner of the establishment, is to go to Transylvania to sell this crappy piece of land or this house in their area. And as soon as he does that, a married man will have some nice money. That's it.
Yeah, flat out, right?
Flat out. What do you think of this being Ellen's story, the opening, the sex, Nosferatu? What do you think of this?
I think it's kind of typical from maybe other scary movies, supernatural movies, right? Where like, you know what? Actually, Insidious was in the news recently because of its horrible theater experience that's now canceled. And just like that movie, right? Where it starts off with a child being haunted or cursed, and then it follows them into adulthood. I feel like this is kind of that same way, where as a kid, not knowing really what kind of deal that she's making with this creature, and just kind of moves on with her life, thinks nothing of it until the episodes start happening, and she's really starting to piece it together a bit more. But there's little signs there, like even at the beginning where Nicholas Hoult is going to the I guess the real estate office. She predicts. She already says that, oh, he already has the job and he'll have to go away.
Right.
And she says that in her nightmares she has premonitions, right? She knows. So it's there. It's always looming in the back.
Well, okay, so I have questions. So we know as the movie goes on, Nosferatu himself says that I was asleep for centuries until you've awakened me. So why play with his food? Like, why not kill her in the beginning of the movie? I know end of movie, right? But why is he toying with her for a decade? Why didn't he just kill her right then and there?
I don't know really what the motive is, but it feels like consent is pretty big for Nosferatu and for a lot of vampires, right? To be invited in, right? To be asked to be paired or partnered with this person, to bite me and to drink my blood. So it's a lot of the agreement, and I feel like this is kind of the same part. I don't think that he or the early parts of a vampire or Nosferatu are out to like recruit and make more. They're out for sustenance, right? They're out to I guess have somebody to be with so that they could leech off of them.
Well, that's the thing, is that it's interesting to me that he has sex with her, but he doesn't kill her, and it's like, you just made a statement of, oh, well, he has to be invited in. I mean, like he was. I mean, she said, I will take anybody, good or evil, right? She invited him in, right? So I guess that's one of the negatives I have of this movie, is that it's great that we're going to have her story and her point of view. That's cool. But she already invited you in. She already gave you consent, essentially, right? So why do this decade-long nonsense? Is it because he was asleep in dirt for centuries and he was weak? I mean, I freeze-framed what I could, and he looked just like he did at the end of this movie during the beginning here.
Okay.
So is it like traditional vampire lore where it's like he's asleep for so long that he's skeleton-y and he has to drink more blood to get young again?
Yeah, it does
Maybe.
seem that way, that the more blood he drinks, the more of the more put together he becomes. Because the other part too is Herr Nock, the real estate agent, is basically Renfield.
He is Renfield, yeah, 100%.
And he is the one that is doing like these rituals and summoning and communication and taking orders from Nosferatu. So I don't know if there's like some sort of prep that goes into it, or some sort of contact. And yeah, it's not really laid out completely in this movie, but we're talking about it.
Right, that was my complaint. And also Knox, right? Knock.
Herr Nock.
When do you think Knock got turned? Right? Because Knock didn't seem crazy in the beginning when he sent Nicholas Hoult out, right? So how did Nosferatu control Knock? Was those letters that we saw, that were they like special letters that
At the rewatch,
his mind?
Herr Nock was most certainly already deep in.
By the time we see him?
Yeah, the first time we see him, he's already dipped in. He's just wearing the normal mask, right? He's pretending to be his usual thing, because soon after that scene, and Nicholas Hoult is in going to the countryside of Transylvania, we get to see Herr Nock naked on the floor and doing his candle summoning, saying that I've sent one your way. He's coming for you, kind of a thing. But even him talking is like he is really selling the idea to was it Thomas Hutter, Nicholas Holt's
Yeah.
character. He's really selling the idea to Thomas. Be like, well, I know you're a new married man, and we have a very attractive wife there. I'm going to say inappropriate things about how I think she's so attractive. And I know a newly married man wants some big money, right? And then the best way to get this is by going for this. And Thomas is retorting with a lot of common sense, like, well, why doesn't he do this? Why doesn't he do this? It's like, no. You have to go there. You have to go there tomorrow, my boy. Of course.
Yeah. He's blindsided by the money.
And he keeps on talking of providence as well, too. So you could tell that Hirnak is a very spiritual person, and that's probably what his providence is through Nosferatu, through the dark spirit of him, right? But yeah, I feel that very much by the time, or when we first meet this character, that he's well off his knocker.
Okay. All right. I was curious if you thought he was, or that was just the character. But you think at this time, when our first introduction of Nock, he's already been seduced to the dark side, if you will. What would be kind of interesting, though, is that maybe Nicholas Holt or Thomas would not be the first victim, right? Maybe this is something that Nock has done, right? Maybe there's like a Nosferatu Inc., where different countries have a Nock, and they keep on sending Nosferatu. Because here's my theory: when they go. When Thomas goes to Transylvania and he runs into the group of gypsies, right?
Yes.
And you get the naked lady on the horse. Clearly, they're hunting vampires,
Yes.
right? And she's there for bait, right? And they find a vampire and they kill him, right?
Yes.
So my question is Nosferatu afraid of the gypsies? Do the gypsies know what's going on? Because later on, Nosferatu says to Thomas, he's like, oh, I'm looking forward to go to the modern world where people don't believe in these silly rituals. Like, is it because he's stronger in the modern world compared to the gypsy world where they know the truth?
Yeah, good questions. I feel that a lot of it actually has to do with the Ellen factor. She's the common denominator in a lot of this, and I feel that Thomas was maybe not coincidentally just picked by Hirnak, but it was more that sought after because he's married to Ellen, and obviously Ellen made that pact with Nosferatu at the beginning of the movie. So I feel that it's not just coincidence, that it's fate. Everything just lined up the way that it needed to, and
Okay.
It went that way because of it. I feel like the gypsies had their ritual. I feel like they know exactly who Orlok is. They warn Thomas not to go up there, not to do this. Here, say your prayers, hold the cross. I feel that sequence was a warning at night, because you have this hard time, or Thomas has this hard time kind of discerning what's real life and what's a dream. Very vivid, feverish dreams almost, right? And he wakes up in the morning after that gypsy scene, uncertain if that was even real, but his shoes are muddy, so that's a pretty good sign. He continues forward anyway. And I think one of the best sequences in this movie is when he first meets Orlok. I mean, just hats off to you, Eggers. Just the way that he just almost teleports, right? Where you see him, like Thomas following him up the stairs, and then suddenly you don't see Orlok anymore, and he's just in the grand room. And Thomas goes there, he's in front of the fire, and then, have a seat. And so Thomas sits down, and then suddenly as he sits, he's not at the table anymore. He's right next to him pouring some drinks. Here, have a drink. And then it's just the way that it moves is very much like a dream, like a nightmare, actually.
May I geek out for 1 minute?
You can continue geeking out for the rest of the show, man.
I've been geeking out. I apologize, everybody. That's not my forte, but when I really, really like a movie, it catches my attention. I got a lot to say. My opinion, the best shot, framed, lit shot in the entire movie is when he's in that crossroads in the middle of the woods.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, beautiful.
And the ghost carriage is coming after him, right? Screw the ghost carriage. I don't care about the ghost carriage. I'm just talking about, like, it's this blue, and then it's black, and then it's white light kind of, right? And then out of nowhere it snows. It's just framed great.
Yeah.
I love that part.
So eerie that the way that door just kind of swings open with nobody in it.
And he has no power because he starts to walk towards the carriage, but then after a couple steps, he floats into it. I will do a Simpsons reference when he's walking up the spiral stairs to go up to the living room or the dining room, if you will.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Homer saying, "Ooh, happy fun." What's it? A happy fun super slide, because the Dracula episode, super fun happy slide. No, Dad.
You wait, looking at the shadows for him to do a yo-yo.
Yeah. Okay, so Count Orlok, Bill Skarsgård. There has been a lot of online hate. There's been a lot of media hate because of his silly mustache, they say, and his silly haircut. And he doesn't look like Nosferatu. I mean, like, Robert Eggers did this for a reason, right? I mean, historians on Twitter have commented that I've read it said this look, besides, the death of him, but the mustache, the hair, the coats, very common that time period in that area. I mean,
I appreciated it.
I like the look. I like the look more than the original one. The little one, I mean, like, because the original one was ratty, like the OG one, right? That's like, he's always been ratty. This is a different look.
Yeah, this makes Count Orlok a real character, a real person. It doesn't make it so like it's like this ratty looking vampire looking thing that we know. It makes it look like this guy, this count, is an actual person, right? Like he's or was. You're right, very much. But right. He has this wool draped in wool, or I'm sorry, in furs. He's got like this big kind of almost like a Russian style kind of a cap, right? It's just
right.
He looks he lurches over you, and the way that he speaks is obviously I'm not even gonna try to attempt it. I can't roll my R's. I practiced before the show, and Sarah got kicked out of it, but can't do it.
Did you hear that Skarsgård actually was trained by an opera singer to lower his voice an octave? He
was doing the kind of the throat singing that they were doing in like Dune.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that he really worked on trying to get that. One detail that I really did love, about his character is the fact that you can hear him filling his lungs, inhaling to speak. It's and then
he's deaf.
Yeah, exactly, Jordan. And then there's those times when he finishes the sentence and there's still air in his lungs and it's still kind of growling out of him. Oh, it was a beautiful detail. I loved it.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed this look. I understand why people were put off by it, and that's fine, right? But for this movie, for this world, this Nosferatu, this Count Orlok needs to exist. If we had a rat face like we did in the original one, it would be too silly for this very serious world. We got to be realistic, so to speak. We are talking about vampires here. Are you a Bill Skarsgård fan yet? I know sometimes you've been back and forth with it, a little bit, right? And, I mean, you had your opinions on those episodes. I mean, this guy, when he goes, he goes. I mean, like, we haven't reviewed Crow. I don't think we ever will review Crow, but I would argue he's probably not terrible in it.
It's funny because he played Crow in the Eternals.
He was in the Eternals?
Yeah. Okay. I do like Bill Skarsgård. I think I can officially put the stamp on that too. I do enjoy It and It Part 2. We both really enjoyed Barbarian, and I think he is really good in that too. This guy is really just... I don't like him so much in John Wick, but then again, he's a
paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. I just enjoy character actor, man, and this guy feels like he has the range. He can do something serious, he can do something silly, he can do something dark, he can do something light. He really is one of those where he stays committed to the craft, and I appreciate it, man. That whole family, you know what? It really, I was maybe in the gray for the most part, but no, I'm on board with that whole family, man. They're great.
I mean, what what makes him great is kind of it reminded me of Fifth Element about in a little bit. You know what I mean? Because Fifth Element came out when we were young, right? And we don't know who the actor was that played that bad guy, right? He was just weird with like a half dome on his head, and it was weird, right? And then a few years later we go see Batman Begins, and it's like, oh, who's this old man playing Gordon? I don't know. And then you start figuring things out, right? And then the internet comes around, and you're like, oh my God, he played Dracula with Keanu Reeves, and he was the bad guy in Fifth Element, and now he's Commissioner Gordon. Kind of same thing with Skarsgård, right? This guy played Pennywise, great Pennywise, right? He plays the bad guy in John Wick 4, boo, stinker. What? And
I'll tell you
does
what.
This.
I went into this movie knowing that it existed, but not knowing anything else. And well, when I got out, I did not know that was Bill Skarsgård until I looked it up.
I told you.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, because you went to go see it in theaters off air, and I was like, hey, what do you think of Bill Skarsgård? And you're like, he's in it. And I was like, yeah, he was Count Orlok. Remember that? And you were like, what?
And then I saw all the interviews, and I was like, no way. And the cast, I think you were telling me, because the cast didn't. They were all surprised too. They said that makeup, which by the way was not CGI, that was him in makeup.
I believe it.
Yeah, it was
great.
Not much for that. So again, props to the props department and makeup for making that a real experience.
So we are geeking out here. We apologize, fans that are listening, but we both agree that we do like this look. It may be an unpopular look, but we both like it. So now what's happening is he's feeding on Thomas, right? Another thing that Count Orlok does that I haven't really seen a lot of vampire movies do is that he doesn't go for the neck on any of his victims. He goes for the heart, which I find is fascinating. So, okay, he feeds on Thomas, right? And then the next night, right, he makes Thomas say, my lord, and everything. And he makes Thomas sign a contract, right? He gives him gold, and we as the audience know what's going on. He's signing over his wife to Nosferatu, Count Orlok. Now, in standard vampire lore movies, Thomas here would be starting to turn, right?
Yeah, you would see him probably getting sick and having those signs, right? Just the delusions a bit more. Yeah, but he seems to be aware of what's going on, but just completely out of control of what to do.
So then you do agree with me though that in this movie, in this world, if Count Orlok feeds on you, you're not going to turn. You're just food.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Okay, so
it seems that you're being drained, and then eventually you're not going to be turning into a bloodsucker yourself. You will probably just wither away.
Well, I want to know though, because
other people have died, right? I mean, in this movie because of him.
Right. But what about the gypsies who found the vampire and killed him? Was that one of Orlok's victims?
We don't even know if that was real, right? Because that could just be a warning to Thomas, right?
I don't know. We didn't see him drink any funny beer, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? I mean, we can only do what the movie tells us. No body, no death kind of thing right there, bud.
So take that for what it is. I don't know if you want to call that dream sequence to be a fact of him and Thomas actually witnessing them going in hunting different vampires, or if it's we live in a world where certain people follow the occult and make deals to become these vampires. That's what the deal is, right? You can live forever, but this is what your fuel is. This is what you have to do.
Mm-hmm. Which begs the question of, what is Orlok's history? We don't know what Orlok's history is.
No, he's got a badass castle though, that's for sure.
So Thomas is now walking around. He's been drained for a couple of days, right? And then finally he's finding Orlok's lair in the sun there, right? He finds Orlok's lair, and this is where we get a full on glimpse of Orlok.
Yeah.
We see full face, full frontal, if you will.
Yes, full frontal.
And this is where the dogs come in, and he gets chased, blah blah, and then he gets fed. He gets fed on again, and then the next time we see him, he locks the door. He escapes, jumps out the window, and eventually falls to. I'm assuming what Orlok thinks this is death, but he travels down the river and gets a hold of nuns. Now, I did read an online theory that he was turning into a vampire, but the nuns stopped that.
Sure.
I mean, I'm just curious if you agree. I don't agree with that. I don't think this world that happens, but that's what an online theory that I read was.
I'm fine with with both, or with either interpretation, whether if it's one of those where the people do turn into vampires at the end, or if they don't. I think the outcome is the same, but the reason why maybe I would put against it is because we don't get a good scene of any other vampires besides that dream sequence with the gypsies, but that was a vampire who looked very much decayed and was
right
in a coffin. There's no other signs that would point to anyone else like Orlok who is going around and doing the same sort of thing. So I would probably say that it's not the case. But
right,
who's to
know? And like even the nuns were like to Thomas, like, don't worry about Orlok, because they know him, right? They're like, don't worry about him. He can't go to your wife, right? Because he can't leave the dirt that he was buried in.
Mm-hmm.
But joke's on them. He puts the dirt in his coffin and gets on what we know as the Demeter. God, I love that movie.
Finds the loophole.
Right, finds the loophole, and now he is arrived. The scene of him arriving in Germany is my second favorite scene because it's borderline black and white.
Yeah. I listen, yeah. I am such, you say we're geeking out, but I am such a fan of the visuals in this movie, the way that they do the buildings, the streets, the docks. I just I am such a huge nerd for that type of history, where it's just anything that is happening is in the streets.
Right. And like on that too, what I love is that, the ship crashes, right? And then the police come and they see rats escaping, which the rats I'm assuming is Orlok. And they're like plague.
Blood plague.
Automatically they got their cause, I guess is the will. Because now, since these guys see these rats, that's a plague, right? So any stories about vampires biting people, no, that's crazy. These are rats.
I loved that detail as well too. And what a great way to do it. The panic right of the ship showing up that is already just beaten down and just almost barely floating, and then to have it where it's just not like a few rats, not even like a dozen. It's a lot. It is a problem amount of rats. It is like a Ben amount of rats.
Ben, wow, You're nice, bud.
Thanks.
Wow. So yeah, I like the idea that they're going to introduce the rats, right? Because the ideas of vampires can't be real. These are rats. Plague is a real thing. What, 200 years ago was the Black Plague, right? 1600s.
Yep.
Am I right? Am I wrong? I mean, so that's still pretty well known in the zeitgeist, if you will, of the world, And I love too, because I've seen the movie twice. I love how when we get in the beginning of the movie, right, the very beginning of the movie, and Thomas is walking the streets are alive, they're lively, there's people everywhere, shoulder to shoulder, All right. As soon as these rats come in, it's a ghost town.
Yeah.
Like these people are, and it's not because people are leaving. People are leaving this world because they're getting Okay, so here's my question on this then. Is it Orlok as these rats feeding on all these people, or is it literally just Orlok is controlling these rats that have plague and are killing people? Like, what do you think it is?
That's a good question. I wonder. Ultimately, what I think it is that Orlok himself is the manifestation of like death and evil, right?
Sure.
And so it just follows him. So wherever he is going, and now he's in the city, I feel like it's not like he's controlling these rats to do certain things, or what else. I feel like it's just the result of like the evil that he has brought.
Death as follows.
Yes, it's really what I think is the sign.
Okay.
For that, it is that there is no safety behind doors now.
Right. So we haven't talked about him hardly much, but Willem Dafoe plays Van Helsing essentially in this movie.
Yeah. What's it? Albin Ebert von Franz.
So I want to talk about von Franz. So another complaint that I have is when we get introduced to Willem Dafoe, he's already bat nuts crazy.
Yeah, he
already is.
He's dipped in hard to conspiracy theories.
Right. So as the audience, right, or like a character that I feel like I should talk about a little bit more would be Aaron Taron Johnson. Like, like a character like him, like an actor like him, with listening to Willem Dafoe, it's just like, buddy, you're talking nonsense. Like you're already crazy from the word go.
Yeah.
Right, which I feel is great for this movie, kind of, right, though? Because the hysteria.
Oh, he represents the common man. I really enjoyed Aaron Taylor Johnson in this. And same with his wife, Emma Corrin, too. I feel like they are just kind of the people who
Innocents.
are... Yeah, exactly. They didn't really have a horse in the race here, but they, through association, are involved. They are good friends of Thomas and Ellen, and as Thomas goes away to Transylvania to do his real estate work, he has Ellen, his wife, stay with the Hardings, him, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and his wife. So Frederick and Anna, and they're obviously very well off. We hear that Frederick has loaned Thomas money before, and oh, don't worry, old boy, you'll get back on your feet, kind of a thing, and they're being very hospitable to their friends. Now, while Thomas is gone, Ellen is having these episodes, these convulsive fits, right? She's like epileptic almost. She's having seizures.
Right.
And so they get the doctor, Ralph Ineson, Dr. Willem Sievers, who, I love this guy. He's been in a few Egger movies before. He's been in The Witch.
Wasn't he the dad in The Witch?
Yeah, that's probably more notably of the work. I believe he was in Game of Thrones. I believe he was in The Northman? Yeah.
Oh, he was in The Northman? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been in a lot. But a very distinctive look, very distinctive voice, right? I feel like that guy's voice can just rumble a room a bit. But he's the doctor who tries to treat Ellen, and after a while, he does what most doctors do in these types of movies, where it's like, I believe it's out of my medical expertise, and we should call in the witch doctor. We should call in...
We're literally the witch doctor.
The Willem Dafoe character. He was kicked out of school for his extraordinary beliefs and thinking it's something else. Maybe he'll have an answer.
I don't know why they didn't do to Ellen what they did to Marge Simpson. Just push her over a cliff, and if she drowns, well, she's not a witch. If she flies off her broom,
plain and simple, right? I mean,
it's obvious. That's how you do it. If you are listening and you don't get sarcasm, I'm sorry for you. So yeah, Willem Dafoe is fun. I do enjoy him, but I can understand why Aaron Taron Johnson is just like, this guy's crazy, right? So while all this is going on, Thomas is trying to come back, right? and the plague is happening, right? And then also, we didn't talk about it much, but Knox. I mean, it was in the beginning of the movie where the police get Knox and he's in a mental ward and he bites the head off the bird and just crazy nonsense. And then Orlok arrives and he escapes. He's like, "Oh, the master has arrived," right? And oh my
he's
lord,
just full lunatic at this part. And they keep him in a basement kind of prison cell type of thing because they don't know where else to put him. But he's
gone.
Yeah, boy's on a different planet. Yeah.
Speaking of gone, I'm gone. Another good scene of mine is when Ellen is in bed with her sister sleeping. And the shadow hand goes over the city from Orlok there. Oh my, that's good, right?
Yeah.
And he gets to Ellen's room, right? And then this is where the two meet, right? This is where we finally get the confrontation, right? And he says a line, and I'm gonna murder it. But the line that he was saying was just so great, where she's like, "You can't love," and he goes, "I cannot. All I have is a thirst." Like all these, he's just inhuman. He is a corpse that doesn't have any feelings at all.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "But I was a child," and he's like, "Well, he didn't say these words, but he was like, hey, I mean, careful who you ask there, big guy.
Yeah.
I mean, don't sit there and say, hey, I'll take anybody, no matter who. I mean, you kind of woke me up from my slumber here, dude. Right? Because that's what he said. He said, I was asleep for centuries.
I was just chilling, and you woke me up, man. I'm not.
You woke me up. You said anybody.
I'm the victim.
Right. I just been laying. So that scene between him and her is great. And because as he was getting closer and closer to her, like her mouth was getting a little open, she was trembling a little bit, and I'm just like, she's not attracted to this guy, is she? Like, there's a power that he has that just is over her. Like, she can't control it.
Yeah. He says that he can't love, and she knows that, but still, because of their history, if you want to call it that their destinies are intertwined, right?
Right.
And he has such like a desire to want her that it like just consumes him. It is such a great power that counters, I guess, whatever he is giving off. It's just it's something, an obsession, I guess, right?
Right. It is a complete obsession, which I find is interesting too. And then when she denies him again, she could end this, because we find out that this whole thing could have been ended at this point in time in the movie if she would not have denied him, right? Because he would have taken her there, and he gets mad and he throws it in the ground. And he's like, "You have 3 days. Today is day 1." I'm like, oh my God, today's day 1? Oh my God. Then I'm going, pretty much what he says is, I'm going to kill everybody you love and the whole world around you. And if you don't come to me after the 3rd day, or on the 3rd day, I'm going to continue to destroy the world until there's nobody left. And here's the fun thing. I believe him. Like, who can stop him?
Yeah. He's very intimidating, and just like, wow, he gives orders. He doesn't ask this movie. He tells you this is what's happening.
And I'm just like, oh my God. So then this is where I can't believe they did it. But, Robert Eggers, egg on my face, he did it in The Witch, right? The second night, Orlok, we see him. You never see him kill the kids on screen. But this movie is heartless.
It really is. And as far as I'm aware, Orlok does this. He kills the kids, and who's the wife again? Anna. Yeah, he kills them both in retaliation for Ellen sleeping with Thomas. She has that little weird episode where she's kind of like possessed.
Is that why he did it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, that was his retaliation. At least that's what I think I read up somewhere.
I didn't believe that at all. There was retaliation. I just read it because he said, today is day 1, and day 2 I'm going to kill people that you love. Like, I thought it was just going to be his MO for the day 2,
Yeah, because basically he was saying that if you don't come with me, I'm just gonna make you regret it. You get 3 nights to change your mind, and she's very resistant, and obviously he takes just more and more after after that progresses. So he does that. Thomas and the two doctors, right? Willem Severs and Von Franz are. Von Franz, by the way, at this point is all like, okay, I know what this is.
Yeah, he knows exactly. He has a conversation with Ellen, and if you've seen the first movie, you know that Ellen has to, sacrifice herself to stop this madness. I feel so bad. Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, being a father of a girl as I am, I think I would do the same thing. And what I mean is that when Count Orlok kills the little girls, he doesn't just drop their bodies on the ground. If you go back and watch, when he's caught, right, he throws them like rag dolls across the room, like these lifeless rag. It's so violent and heartbreaking, right? And then Aaron Taron Johnson is just so distraught that he goes to his wife and children's grave and just sets them and himself on fire. He just can't live in this world.
Yeah, he was supposed to join the other guys in going to Orlok's manor there and try to kill him, but obviously the spirit has just been like, I'm done here, guys. I have nothing to live for. I have nothing.
No. Oh, it was so heartbreaking to see him do it because I actually felt his pain. That's why I thought that he was a good actor in this movie, because this is oh my God, this is what a lot of dads would do. Maybe. Or, of course, I'm embellishing here.
I feel it's just it was a very, it was a knee-jerk reaction, and I feel like, it was probably a realistic one. I also appreciate that Von Franz in this becoming aware of what the threat is, but also really to a point where he's like, no, I've never gone past this part, guys. I don't know how to deal with this thing.
Yeah, I think we've seen that in Exorcist movie at one point, right? Where it's like, I'd never seen this before.
Yeah, it was well, okay, you know what it is? How do we get rid of it? He's like, hell if I know, guys. You tell me.
I don't know. But he knew, right? Because he had that conversation with Ellen, in the alleyway there.
I think that was the kind of the theory of it, where they knew the constant, right? Where it's the daylight. It's not so much the stake in the heart. It's not so much the garlic or all the other stuff that we know. It's the daylight. That's the deal that he had made, that Nosferatu, that Orlok had made, possibly, is that, listen, before the crow, the second crow of the morning or something like that, you have to be in your coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they knew that. But they knew that she had to sacrifice herself, because they say in the movie that, if he were to have her, it will stop.
Yeah, exactly.
So Willem Dafoe and gang go to Count Orlok's manor. They get into, which I read that they were acting in a room with 200 live rats, which brought me to the live rat scene in Indiana Jones Last Crusade there, bud.
Hey, that's method acting.
Oh boy, and Willem Dafoe goes nuts. He goes completely nuts. He does that laugh and he has that smirk, right? And this is where it gets me. And what I mean by it gets me is this is where I just kind of sit back in the chair a bit, right? And I'm just kind of lost on what's going to happen next. And as Thomas and gang figure out what's really going on, they start running back, to Thomas's house. And this is where Count Orlok shows up, and there is Ellen, in her wedding dress, right? And she strips naked, and Count Orlok stripped naked. And again, he goes for the heart, and it is gross. I mean, I can feel it, she's laying on her back. He's getting on top of her, right? He's kind of kissing her a little bit, and then you can just hear the crunch on her chest there, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh God, right? That's not like a vampire. Vampire's supposed to be sexy. There's nothing sexy about this. You hear the crunch, and then you hear the gulp, gulp, gulp. I'm just like, oh. And then his back, she touches his back, and it's all just destroyed, and there's holes and
decayed. Yeah.
Oh, and he's just like, oh, what that just feels like rubber. You know what I mean? Like, oh my
It was
God.
quite the image.
Oh my God, right? And then, they're almost close, right? And then the sun comes up and Nosferatu stops, right? He stops and he looks out the window and he's realizing, oh man, probably should go back. And then she's like, more. She's dying. Her last breath is more.
Like, come on, baby, you can't leave now.
You can't. I'm not done yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And he continues on the job. Now, I was going shot by shot here for a reason because I want to know what your feelings are. This is the first, well, maybe not the first, right? But this is something to where we don't see a vampire burn in the sun, right? He's feeding on her. He realizes, oh, done, I messed up, right? And all of a sudden he starts coughing up her blood. He starts bleeding from the eyes, and he gives off a blood-curdling scream himself. Like,
Yeah.
it's painful what he's going through, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't dissolve. He doesn't disintegrate. He just dies on her.
Yeah, it just kind of withers.
What do you think about that? Because I'm glad that we don't get him just burning up in flames, right? Like, so
Absolutely.
so I dug that. The last shot, I took a picture and I sent it to you, right? The last overhead shot of him leaning on top of her and his skeleton legs. Oh my God. Like, this is horrific. I can't stop looking away. It's kind of like watching a NASCAR car wreck. Like, you're not supposed to like this. Like, it's horrific, right?
No, I enjoyed
can't
it.
stop watching it.
I feel like it treads the line very well of it to be like a horror tale, but still in this realm of realism. It's not so horribly supernatural. It's not even medium supernatural. It's like just enough, right? Where like this main character, this Orlok guy, is like just this weird haunted being, but that everything around him just kind of is like minorly affected, but until he comes to the city and obviously all hell like breaks loose, literally and figuratively. I just enjoyed this interpretation of it. I think it was a solid way of doing it. It made it as if though there was more of a real threat. Like I wasn't
Right.
at the end trying to do some sort of Ghostbusters thing where just like, all right, everyone, get the metal or the wooden spikes here, and we're gonna go on a good old fashioned witch hunt. Get the angry mob,
It's
get
a
the
frozen
pitchforks.
empire.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, let's get into our popcorn ratings. Eric, I think you know, and everybody that's listening to this episode already knows. I mean, this is a large bag for this big guy here.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, geez, I don't want to repeat, but I think the acting's great. I feel some of the actors are getting snubbed at the Oscars. I think Aaron Taron Johnson is not bad. I like Lily Rose Depp in this movie, and I think this is her coming out party. I think this could be her coming out party. Like, hey guys, it wasn't really serious. I was kind of friends, with Kevin Smith's daughter, but now I'm a woman and going out here and I'm gonna do some other roles. You know what I mean? Like, I think this would be it for her. Skarsgård can't do wrong when he wants to method act. He's great, and I'm excited to see what else he does. I love this movie. I will see this movie again and again and again. I will YouTube scenes in this movie. I like his look. I don't care what other people say. I like his look. I like the cinematography. I really enjoy this movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. No, you don't have to watch any of the other ones before, right? Because you're going to have expectations. Check this one out. It's a large bag for me. Eric, I'm assuming you're not going to disagree. What's your popcorn rating for Nosferatu?
Oh, I mean, exactly the same. And yeah, I would agree that I think this really showed or highlighted Lily Rose Depp's ability. I think it was really a low bar because of the series The Idol that was on HBO with her in The Weeknd. If anyone remembers that, that was very much not well received. It was it's kind of a weird thing. And then she did a whole bunch of little side projects, a little minor roles here and there, and doing her thing. But yeah, I think this will really help her jump to the next step in a lot of her projects. I mean, excited to see what more she can do. I'm excited to see what Robert Eggers can do with a lot of his new projects. I'm excited to see this Werewolf. I don't know if there's anyone
I'm excited for that.
casted in this just yet. Does not look like it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was some of the actors who he has worked with before.
Right.
Yeah, everything about this was just fantastic. Even the language that was used, which we all know Robert Eggers does. He likes to kind of keep it of the time, right? In The Witch, they did a lot of these, Jordan, why must the be so
The old
negative?
English speak.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like they do the same thing with this. They did the same thing in like The Lighthouse. So just that big commitment from all the actors to really kind of learn the lines and really absorb the characters a bit more. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna watch this movie again. I think it's a fantastic movie. I'm excited for anything and all the attention that it gets. So I really think that it should get more.
No, I agree. So we both agree this is a large. Check it out, everybody, please. We really enjoy it, and we enjoy you downloading. There we go. We enjoy you downloading episodes on Thursdays, on Thirsty
I
Thursdays.
swear, do you bruise your back from how hard you pat yourself sometimes?
Sometimes I do, but sometimes I mostly try to pat it because I can't get that knife out of my back.
Oh,
You like that one?
See, there you go.
Oh my God!
Your lips are chapped from tooting that horn so much.
Yeah, it's fun though because it's ridiculous. Because everybody knows that when I say these things, I know they're stupid. So anyway, thank you everybody for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Thank you like always, and we'll be back next Thursday for another awesome episode. Have a good night.
Congratulations, you're rolling with the big leagues.
That's why I took a picture, because I'm just like, okay, so I'm not a tech IT guy. So does Eric think this is douchey? Is this considered douchey in this world? I want to know. Like, is 3 screens douchey?
If you need it, if it helps you do your work, then do your thing. But nice. I know a lot of people at work who are like, I need another monitor, and what I see is that they have one monitor that's just basically their email that's open up the entire time. Another monitor that's used for like maybe their main work, like web browsing, and then another one that's like for their chat or for their lookup station. They have another tab open where they look up stuff. So is it really needed for the most part? No. There's a lot of parts where it just, especially with new operating systems now, the way they have it, it's like you don't need it. You can do, if you just get like one 27-inch monitor, that probably would do the
Wonders.
same. Yeah, exactly. Then 2 monitors. And the other thing people don't understand is just because your computer can doesn't mean you should.
Well, okay, so the truth is, the reason why is because